Need high-quality video to promote your event, business, or band? We can help.
We're Pixel Pond, a video production team based in the Pacific Northwest, providing high-quality content to clients across the U.S. and Canada.
Whether you want coverage of your live event to promote for next year, or need a camera and a camera operator for your next big project, we can accommodate projects of all sizes.
Your story is important. Visit pixelpondllc.com or send an email to info@pixelpondllc.com to get started today. We can't wait to work with you.
Parental warning. This podcast contains adult content. It's not explicit, but you might not want your kids asking later why you were laughing, so this is your heads up. Please podcast responsibly.
Coming up on Gamers Week podcast. PlayStation has announced a new contest called the Playerbase, and it will allow winners to have their likenesses scanned to appear in PlayStation games. The winner will be revealed around November 2026, but Sony maintains the right to disqualify the grand prize winner at any time if the winner commits any acts that shock, offend, or insult the public or any class or group.
Go yourself, Sony.
I gotta be honest here, though. Blue, you should apply.
Why?
You can write, you love PlayStation, and you probably spent a ton of money on PlayStation games.
No, I don't, though.
You don't?
Well, and to be fair, I think that you would eventually do something that shock, offends, and insults the public.
That is pretty much a guarantee. That would be part of my video interview. Be like, you know what? Just don't Google me that hard.
The password is Sacre Bleu.
Oh, Sacre Bleu. Sacre? Sacre or Suck Lay? Suck Lay Blue.
Hey, Blue.
Hey. I've always liked French.
Oui. Okay, I'm going to start the stream now. I'm going to go to the main, yes.
Oui.
There we go. Oui, as the French say. It's a little oui.
Und petit oui. No, un is German. So,
petit.
Oui.
This show is so classy every single week. Just the
MTW.
classiest, highest quality discourse here.
Doug says, oh, we're talking magical titty wizard? That's my jam.
So now I'm going to have to create an emote for the MTW. We have an Aragorn emote. We have the cockle. Now we need an MTW.
I'm all for it.
Yes, let's do it.
Hold on. Let me type in the old Google here. Big titty
Magical.
wizards.
They have to be magical.
Okay.
Right.
Magical big titty wizards. Images. And nothing really here. I'll have to create it by myself.
I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts that I can send you.
Okay.
Okay.
I just want to make sure we get it the right vibe that we're looking for.
It conveys the right message.
All right. Let's get the show started. Welcome, everyone, to Gamers Week podcast. Like the name says, we analyze the best, worst, and weirdest headlines. Analyze the best, worst, and weirdest headlines of the past week in the video game industry. This is episode 207, and today is Wednesday, April 8th, 2026. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. My name is Blue Williams, and I will be your host this evening. But as you can see, I am not alone. I have two fine co-hosts with me. My first co-host has spent the last 6 months undercover in a flat earther Reddit group. He says it's not affecting his judgment to be exposed to that kind of environment, but honestly, we've become concerned after finding out his porn search history includes a hunt for videos with flat asses. Please, everyone, welcome in Ryan Payne, aka Retro Game Brews.
I put a moratorium on everything around.
You're just not acting like yourself lately. And my second co-host was recently kicked out of the Kanamori Matsuri Fertility Festival in Kawasaki, Japan. As he was being dragged away by security, he could be heard yelling, "Well, excuse me, then you shouldn't call it a penis festival." Please say hello to the one and only Donnie G.
Sir, you can't show that here. What? Did I? Is it lost in translation? I feel like Chris Farley on the Japanese game show in Saturday Night Live.
It's so good. Oh my God. It's bad, but it's good.
Yeah.
It didn't age well is what I'll say, but yes.
Remember waiting by the radio all night for that one song to play just so you could hit record on your cassette player, but then your tape ran out halfway through the song? If so, you probably have back pain now. Well, your comfort deserves to evolve with you. That's why Blacklight is not just creating gaming chairs. They're building a movement for healthier, freer, and more inspired play, work, and creation. For listeners of the show, Blacklight is offering a 15% discount using coupon code GWP26. Visit blacklight.com/gamersweek podcast or follow the link in the show notes. All right, let's move on to our reviews, reactions, and requests. Pigeonfish says, I have enjoyed many a Pokemon game over the years and have never once touched Pal World, but Nintendo needs to get bent. Their villain arc just keeps intensifying.
And I haven't touched Pale World either.
Me neither.
I think it's just the principle of the thing. Yeah. And I completely agree. Right.
Right.
Nintendo can f*** off. I used a little bit stronger language than get bent.
Right.
Robert the Battletoad says, I hope they bring back Platinum Games for the new Star Fox game. They did great work on Star Fox Zero.
First of all, Robert the Battletoad, amazing name. Kudos to you. Second of all, cool. I would love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's a great addition. And to your point, did a great job on Star Fox Zero, so why not?
Am I mistaken that Kev Bayless works with Platinum Games?
I don't know.
No, Platonic, excuse me. Wrong P.
No.
Don't you hate it when it's the wrong P?
I know. That's a real bummer. And finally, Cactus Addy says, adult Moon Patrol games? Who knew? And you left Poon Patrol right there on the table.
Poon Patrol?
Kudos. That deserves a round of applause.
Yeah. I don't know where our minds are at, but we just completely missed it.
Yep. That's slipping.
We apologize. We have failed you. All right, let's move on to our patron shoutouts.
All right, well, we couldn't do what we do without the help of our gorgeous patrons. Here are the generous folks supporting Gamers Week on Patreon. We have a new patron to announce. A big thank you and welcome to Retro Gaming Dev. They will be joining RetroBest, Platt, BNC Zilligai, The Mad Milkman, Seven Castle Forest, Crunchy Con, John Metroid, Frank Grande, Love Retro BTW, Steven Sand, Ramboski, Terry Kinnair, Don't Make Me Pull This Car Over, The Best Part of Waking Up is Games with Coffee in Your Butt.
Say what now?
But Hybrid Divide, You Fall Before Me, The Let's Play Princess, La Shorty, The Pixel Pond Family, including Shannon and Luke, and the Ski Ball Daddy, Zach, a.k.a. Cluster Nuts, Puzzle Better, Number One Blue Sick Voice Chan, John Barron, Sassy Sony, Evo Lust, Cyram. Need a little more boing in your doing? I sure do. Then head to your nearest gas station for some Angry Sasquatch brand male enhancement pills. Mega Retro Man, Gamatroid, Moradid, Michael, surely you can't be serious. I'm serious. And don't call me Shirley. LaKite, Emo-esque, Bill Tucker, you know, the beeps, the sweeps, and the creeps. Fruitcakes, I hate it when my Schwartz gets twisted. Pickled Pepper, Ducks with Thick Thighs, Absolutely the Best Podcast, A Work in Progress, Bobson Doug Nut, Blues Little Sis, and Perler Daddy. If you like what you hear today, we really hope that you do. Please consider joining us on Patreon. Your support helps cover the cost of producing the show, as well as other cool stuff we'll be doing like prizes and giveaways. You'll also gain access to our bi-weekly patron-only bonus cast called Gamers Week Uncut. Patrons with benefits. Visit patreon.com/gamersweek or follow the link in the show notes to learn more. And as a reminder, we are including a link for the GoFundMe for our patron Snacks, aka Brandon, who is currently undergoing a battle with cancer. We love him, and so please consider helping and sharing.
We love you, Brandon. I'm so glad that we are on airplane quotes, because that is a gold mine that is going to go on for probably the rest of the year.
It's the beginning of April.
I know.
That's when I started my drinking problem.
Like a wrong week to start sniffing glue.
Sniffing glue.
All right, let's move on to the headlines.
This headline segment is proudly sponsored by Absolutely the Best Podcast, a work in progress. Each episode, George and Zach discuss and rank all the best things, and right now they're ranking every movie in the Alien vs. Predator connected universe. This week, they've got a trivia question for us. What 1980 Namco Maze arcade game is credited with being the first to have continuous background music? Visit them at absolutelythebest.net or follow the link in the show notes. I'm going to say Pac-Man?
See, Pac-Man, though, doesn't have continuous background music. It's just every cutscenes, of course, have music, and then it's and Miss Pac-Man doesn't either, right?
You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if it's like Pac-Man Jr., the one with like the pinball machine with it as well. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do remember that one. I just don't know if it had continuous music, though.
Yeah, I have no idea. Throwing out Pac-Man out there.
While you guys are debating, I'll say that Zach in the chat says, I forgot to ask you to mention that we ranked the Capcom versus Marvel fighting games. So
okay.
Check that out this week.
What authority do you have to rank the Capcom versus Marvel fighting games? Like, are you a fighting connoisseur? Is George a fighting connoisseur? If you're not, then you've got no authority to do this. I'm putting my foot down. Sorry.
Whoa.
I think the authority is it's their damn podcast.
So we're gonna go with Pac-Man Jr.
I'm just gonna go with Pac-Man because it's 1980. I don't know if Pac-Man Jr. came out in 1980.
Yeah, I don't think it did, but Mrs. Pac-Man and Pac-Man do not have continuous music.
There's Mappy. There's also Maze Craze. I'm not sure if that was Namco, but I'll just stick with Pac-Man.
Okay.
The answer is Rally X.
Rally X.
Yeah. I didn't know that either. When Zach first sent me the question, he had the Namco was spoilered.
Rally
and then afterwards, I was like, well, I had a guess until I saw Namco. And now I have no idea. And so we unspoilered it because it made it even harder.
Okay.
It was considerably harder considering Namco. Namco is who I think what threw us off.
Yeah.
I'm going to blame Namco. I'm going to blame you on spoiling it too. So it's all your fault, Blue.
Because you were totally going to guess Rally X otherwise.
Of course.
Right.
Of course. It's my favorite game.
Right.
Sure it was.
Every time. Man.
All right.
Quarter goes in.
Right there.
Right where? Right there.
Right there. All right, let's get into the week's headlines. First up, boutique physical game publisher Limited Run Games is now promising an end to its infamous delayed order deliveries as it throws its old guard under the bus. Limited Run has been no stranger to online controversy. Between allegations of using cheap recordable media in place of pressed CDs for certain games, a lawsuit for alleged violations of privacy, and severely delayed collector's editions arriving with questionable quality control, things have been messy for the Embracer Group-owned publisher for quite some time. However, with the recent departure of former CEO Josh Fairhurst, it appears that the new management is scrambling to make amends with customers and subtly trashing the old management in the process. Buyers of Limited Run Games have come to expect delays of months, if not years, on many projects, though many still grumble online whenever the dreaded release date change email from LRG hits their inbox. On Friday, however, many customers with outstanding pre-orders from LRG received a different kind of email from the company. As we continue this transition of growth and transparency here at LRG, our new leadership has taken a hard look at our in-progress releases, and it's clear we've set some delivery dates that were too aggressive, the email says. We were overly optimistic, and we've disappointed you in the form of delays and uncertainty. We're resetting that standard. Going forward, the date is the date, and it's a date you should be able to believe when you're placing an order with us. While the wording is polite, what it spells out is clear. The old crew was promising release dates they couldn't hit, and from now on, customers will be seeing a more realistic ship date when they look at a limited run games pre-order page.
So what that means to me is that if they're behind, then you're going to get another CDI. It doesn't work. We just put it on a random Memorex CDR and sent it out to you. The thing that annoys me with this is it's not addressing the biggest elephant in the room, which is that it takes years for you to get a game, right?
Right, exactly. This makes it sound like we're just going to tell you it's going to be 2 years away from the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I'm sure that's why the original ownership was like, we can't do that. Nobody will ever order it. So just say it'll be in a few months.
I remember I have several different things from limited run games, and signing up for it, ordering it, and the next thing you know, like completely forgetting about it. Like I ordered it and here it is 6 months later or 12 months later. And it's like, I get an email like, hey, we're moving into this phase. I'm like, oh, I've got a limited run game order. Okay. So there's that. And then there's the debacle, which happened with the game D for the 3DO, which they re-released. I have that one. It's the Memorex CDR or what have you. And then they got caught. They sent out the update. I also have that. But at that point, I was like, I am completely done with limited run games. Yeah. I will never purchase anything else from them again. I liked it when they were cool. I do have several of their the collector's edition stuff. And it's great. You get the statues and all this other crap with it. But the fact that you're going to go the cheap route and just risk that, thinking, oh, they're never going to open up a collector's edition. This is geared more towards those people who don't play it at all. Well, sorry, you got busted.
Right. You got caught with your hand in the cookie jar.
Right.
And then you had to backpedal, which I'm sure cost you more money.
Oh, yeah.
In the long run.
Yeah, it's awful because a lot of people like us believe strongly in physical media. And so we were willing to still give limited runs the benefit of the doubt, even though the customer service was shit and they're constantly delaying and you don't get stuff for a year or two, despite what they've told you ahead of time. I mean, everybody was joked about it and griped about it, and yet we kept going back to order. Yeah. And it was only when they finally said, we can't be trusted. And that we're going to give you, we can't be trusted. Here's not what we promised. We're going to try to rip you off because it's cheaper for us and we think you're not going to play it anyway. So essentially just turning their back on the one group of people that was keeping them in business. It's the dumbest thing ever.
Right. And you know what the worst part, I think, too, is that their practices of delaying and stuff like that has spilled over to the other versions of limited run, like ultra rare games and all that stuff. They all follow the same thing because, you know what, the most popular one does it, so we can do it too. And they've created a precedent for the physical media and getting games that didn't have wide releases that we really do want to, in fact, play that are on those, with those different companies. Now it's just industry standard. Let's make it 2 years. Why not? It's just, I think, limited run really fucked up. I think they killed the marketplace for that. I mean, I don't hear people talking about releases anymore. And I think we're the perfect demographic for that. So I would expect to hear on social media, hey, got this great game or whatever. Like, look at this sealed garbage pail kids, whatever. Don't hear about it anymore.
Right. The other kind of nail in the coffin for me was when the last thing I bought from Limited Run Games was TMNT Shredder's Revenge. Just because it was such a cool game. I really wanted a physical of it. I didn't get the collector's edition or anything, but just the physical. And of course, you have to wait forever to get it, eventually get it. And then I think it was 2 months later, I saw it on a shelf at Best Buy. And I was like, well, if it's going to fucking be at Best Buy basically at the same time, why the hell am I going through all this trouble with Limited Run?
Right.
It's stupid.
I think the last one I got was like a PS3 game that Davey recommended. Because it's rare that it's on PS3.
An investment. You don't care about the game.
So for all I know, what's inside there is just a business card.
It's a couple of rocks with a business card.
Yeah.
It's a sticky note and it just says IOU written on it.
I'd hold on to that. Those are IOUs. Those are just
as good as money. I know this is never going to happen because obviously people are going to open it. They're going to inspect the contents. That would just be a ridiculous thing to do if Limited Run decided to play everybody like that. Stock everything with card stock. And just a simple thing like a business card, say here, ultimate premium collector's edition. And then the one person who opens it up is like, what the fuck is this?
The one weirdo who actually likes that odd PS3 game and genuinely wanted to play it.
And then you try to go and sell it. And like, let's just say you sell it on eBay and that person gets it. And they're like, you know what? I want to open this thing. What's that? What? Oh my God, you scammed me? And then, no, I didn't scam you. Limited Run scammed you. You got to go contact them. No, you sold me the item.
Redox says the last thing I bought was Ghoul Patrol, and I was totally smashed, and I had to work with them to get a replacement, and it was super annoying. Love it.
But she says she'll defend Press Run, their book publisher, as they've been totally wonderful to work with.
Okay.
Somehow I feel like it's easier to print books than it is to print, I guess, video games.
Media.
Yeah, that's great.
On a copier. There you go.
We're going to ship you out a PDF.
Exactly.
What's this? It's on a thumbstick.
It'll look like the textbooks in high school when they didn't have enough to go around.
Right. So then it's like all stapled together.
Yep. Chapter 12. Here you go. All right, next up, you could be in a PlayStation game if you write well, love PlayStation, and play and own a lot of PlayStation games. PlayStation has announced a new contest called the Playerbase, and it will allow winners to have their likenesses scanned to appear in PlayStation games. This begins with Gran Turismo 7, but PlayStation said it will expand the program to include other titles from PlayStation Studios. Here's how it works. You can visit the Playerbase website where you'll need to submit comments on why PlayStation is important to you. Make it something from the heart, Sony said. The company will then review applications and choose a limited number of people for video interviews. Entries will be evaluated based on the originality of written submissions, relevance to the theme of being a passionate PlayStation player, and demonstrated engagement with the PlayStation brand. This is judged on how much money you've given to Sony over the years in the form of ownership of PlayStation products, subscriptions, games played, and hours played. Between 50 and 150 entries will be chosen for the next round, which is video interviews. For this round, you will be judged on demonstrating an authentic love for PlayStation and citing specific personal details about your history with PlayStation. You'll also be judged on how much you love Gran Turismo 7, as well as whether Sony thinks it can sell your story to promote itself, by way of your interview being shareable and entertaining content. Your interview must also demonstrate that you are representative of PlayStation fandom in general. The winner will be revealed around November 2026, but Sony maintains the right to disqualify the grand prize winner at any time if the winner commits any acts that shock, offend, or insult the public or any class or group.
Go yourself, Sony.
For those listening later, you missed through this entire story, the boys are making increasingly dramatic, dismissive, wanking gestures.
I like the idea initially. It's like, oh, if you're a PlayStation super fan, tell us why from the heart, what makes you a PlayStation lover? And but you have to like Gran Turismo 7, and you have to do this, and you have to do that, and that's where it just flew off the rails. And I'm like, nope.
Were we going to judge you by how much money you've given to PlayStation over the years?
Screw you.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest though, Blue, you should apply.
Why?
You can write. You love PlayStation, and you probably spent a ton of money on PlayStation games.
No, I don't though.
You don't?
Well, and to be fair, I think that you would eventually do something that shock, offends, and insults the public.
That is pretty much a guarantee. That would be part of my video interview. Be like, you know what? Just don't Google me that hard. How cool, though, putting the nonsense aside, how cool would it be to see yourself in a game and even if you are an NPC and you're fighting Kratos, I'm fighting Kratos. How fucking cool.
He cut my dick off. Yay! I could send them a picture or a video of my lower shelf over here that is stacked to the brim of PS1 games, and my other shelf that is stacked to the brim of PS2 games. But that probably wouldn't say anything to them. It's like, oh,
yeah, don't care.
Where's your PS4 library? Where's your PS5 library? Like, well, I kind of stopped after the PS3 because I didn't really see the point of the PS4 or the PS5. So
there's your angle. Just tell them you were one of the 6 people who liked the PS3.
When they announced that it was $3.99, I was like, yeah.
Shut up and take my money.
I was an early adopter of the PS3 before you guys even had games that came out. See,
Doogie says just mod a game and boom, you're in there.
Yeah, there you go.
Should we make a GWP game?
Yes.
8-bit GWP game? I would be all for that.
Oh, at least 16-bit. At least
16-bit. No, there are some games that are 8-bit that look pretty damn good.
Simon says you'll be hookers in GTA 6, exclusive to PlayStation's version.
I'm okay with that.
Hot coffee version.
That would be awesome.
It's all of us lined up. Blue, $200. Donnie, $200. Ryan, $8.
That's a value meal right there.
It's like.
All right, and McDonald's has introduced a brand new pro game menu and an Archie device that will keep you from going AFK while you're eating, but it's only available in Türkiye. McDonald's Türkiye announced the news today, saying the Archie is inspired by the iconic golden arches of the fast food chain, and it brings the controller's analog sticks together, allowing the character to continue moving when the player is briefly away from the screen. So how do you get your hands on this device if you happen to be in Türkiye? It is available through delivery orders via the aforementioned Pro Gamer menu, which includes a Big Mac, medium fries, a medium Coke, and 8-piece onion rings. Being away from the screen during online gameplay, especially in high-intensity moments, can directly disrupt the flow of the game, Ordesh Donin Artak, CMO of McDonald's Türkiye, said. We transformed this behavior into a gamer insight and made Archie part of the McDonald's experience by offering it as a gift to customers who order the Pro Gamer menu. It's not the first time McDonald's has partnered up with a game company. At the end of last year, McDonald's teamed up with Capcom to introduce a number of Street Fighter-themed burgers and exclusive skins in Japan. The promotion includes a limited edition menu of street burgers inspired by Capcom's fighting franchise, all of which could be washed down with a McFizz drink served in a limited edition collab cup.
McFizz.
The F is so close to the J.
I'm sorry.
Are you washing it down with a McFizz?
So McDonald's has onion rings. I am surprised to learn that is something that Türkiye has on their menu. I didn't know that onion rings was like I don't know, not necessity, but like a local thing, right? Like McDonald's always does local menus based off of like the taste for people. So that's funny. You're right. An order of onion rings. You can get them at frickin' Burger King here.
I think the onion rings are performance food because it's a pro gamer menu.
Ooh,
that's why you need a Big Mac and fries and a Coke and the onion rings because you got to perform.
With that smell on your breath. It's great. Frank says, McFizz, what the McF***? So, okay, help me understand this particular gimmick.
It's exactly what you said.
Yeah.
So the Archie it's not the controller. It's just the arches or the arcs, if you're a McDonald's person. And you put those on the analog sticks, allowing the character to continue moving when the player is briefly away. What's the point? What's the benefit of this? If my character's moving, he's going to run. If he's playing Elden Ring, he's going to die.
That's what I was going to say, is being away from the screen during online gameplay, especially in high-intensity moments. So it's like the fog is closing in and it's down to you and one other guy, but you got to have that onion ring right now. Put on the Archie, and your character will just run in a circle. No one will notice you're not really there.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, you really know gamers, guys. That's great.
Zach says Donnie really leaned into the anal of analog sticks.
It's funny that you said that, Zach, because when I said it, my brain fired off as like, wait a minute, did I just say anal? But I kept reading.
That's what's known as a Freudian slip.
It's analog. Watch out.
I can't see says better than that KFC console from years ago with the chicken warmer.
Sure.
I don't know. I kind of like that one better. You could use that.
Yeah, because all this is literally just an arch.
The M.
It's the big M.
Yeah.
The big M. That's all it is. It just sits on the thing.
It's the big M, and it just goes like let on your controller.
Like 3, like
Yep.
2 and
3.
Yep. Better make it 4.
Puzzle says, I wonder what BK is going to do to compete. Hopefully something a lot better than this. McDonald's is kind of swinging and missing lately with their CEO who's taken that I got to taste my product. Well, that's a big boy bite. Yes, it is.
I mean, the McNugget Tetris thing was kind of cool. It was
That
stupid,
was.
but it was fun. I have one downstairs.
Oh, you son of a...
You didn't get one?
No, I never did get one.
Oh.
I just wasn't interested in it at the time.
It's not supposed to be interested in. You're supposed to look at it and laugh. And
I know.
yeah.
What do you got for us, Ryan?
You didn't open yours.
Why would I?
Why the fuck would I?
It's got a little bit of cleavage there, so yeah.
Nuggets pressed together. You got Ryan leaving to go get his, Blue's leaving to go get hers, and I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs because I don't have.
I think I'm probably gonna buy one off of eBay.
Another one?
An Archie.
Oh, an Archie? Oh my god.
It'll go with my Chachi.
Oh, Archie.
What's it look like in the inside?
What are we talking about?
It's actually a lot bigger than I thought it is.
Yeah.
What she said.
I thought it was just like nugget sized, and you have to like
Nope.
hold it up to one eye and play it. Like, okay.
Anybody who is over the age of like 35.
But it has stickers on the back if you want to decorate your nugget.
Oh.
I didn't actually open the plastic, but the box was open when it arrived.
That's a big nugget, says Casey.
Where are you planning on putting a nugget that size? Bend over and I'll show you.
Wasn't talking to you.
You got a lot of nerve talking to me like that, Griswold.
I'm much more interested in these Capcom burgers from Japan. Sorry, we missed those on the McFizz.
I am too. We don't
What we
get the good
get
stuff
here is we get like themed ones for movies, right? Where it's like or TV shows on Netflix, like the Wednesday burger, and they make the bun black.
Yeah,
That was burger. No, that was Wendy's did that.
that's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
But Burger King has done that as well.
I just remember having one because I'm a gimmick chaser. And
You're a
the
gimmick
next day, it looked like I had Pepto-Bismol the night before. You know what I'm talking about? Right?
Yeah.
I just let that.
The squidges.
Yep.
Okay.
But I'm with you. I think I went to fast food places a lot more when there was the definitive gimmick that I could get, like the Batman Forever mugs, the Flintstones mugs. If they started doing something like that again to draw us in, I'd be fat and happy. I'd be back in the loving arms of fast food restaurants, like maybe several times a week, trying to get the whole set.
I'll be honest. I see those Flintstones glass mugs at antique shops all the time.
Yeah, me too.
It's like, oh yeah, I remember those. Yeah, that shitty fucking Flintstones movie. The only person who was good in that was Rick Moranis.
You didn't like John Goodman?
You didn't like Rosie O'Donnell?
Definitely not on that one.
Right now they have K-pop Demon Hunter Flurries and Mario Galaxy Happy Meals. I did see the Mario Galaxy Happy Meal and I was almost tempted to buy one for myself just to see what the toy was like. But it's like recently they've had like Pokemon packs and grown ass people going up and getting like, oh, can I get 10 Happy Meals just so I can get these Pokemon packs and then reselling them on eBay and yada, yada, yada. Just give me something practical, man. Give me a mug, give me a glass, not just a regular Dream Team plastic cup that I'm going to throw away. Give me something durable and worth my time.
You're asking for a lot from McDonald's.
I'm asking to go back to where things were. And, I posted something on Twitter the other day about, remember when consoles actually lowered their prices and not raised and not jacked them up for a 5-year-old console. That's what I want to go back to whenever there was value for the consumer.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
We're not going to go there. I know.
All right, let's move on to our top 3 new releases.
All right, first up, The Occultist, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC. The Occultist is a first-person narrative thriller. You play as Alan Rebels, a paranormal investigator who travels to an abandoned British island after his father's disappearance. Explore Godstone Island, face supernatural entities, and uncover long-buried occult rituals. Next up is Chainstaff, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Chainstaff is a brutal action platformer with a transforming spear and grappling hook, blazing weapon upgrades, and rockin' soundtrack. Aliens have attached to your head. Let me read as it was intended. Aliens have attached to your head! There's an exclamation point there, so I had to... the next one's an exclamation point too. Swag, shout, and spear your way through mutating hordes and bone-shaking boss fights and get this thing off your head.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Loud noises!
In the future, you will change punctuation, I'm sure. And last up, People of Note, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 2, and PC. In this turn-based RPG musical, join Cadence as she recruits an ensemble of musicians on her quest for stardom. Experience turn-based combat like never before, where each battle is a musical performance, with each evolving combat conditions and genre-bending mishap attacks. So, looking at these 3, Donnie, what are you going with?
People of Note might as well be People of Nope. N-O-P. Nope. I'm noping out of that motherfucker. A musical turn-based RPG. No, thank you. Chainstaff looks pretty good, but I don't know. Just something's throwing me off with this thing. I really don't have the words to describe it. I saw it. It looks beautiful, but it just, something's off, which leaves us with The Occultist. That's right up my jam. That's a first-person thriller, and you're basically a ghost hunter or some shit. And I just can't wait to get scared out of my pants. I think for me, it's going to be The Occultist, hands down.
People of Nope. That is probably one of your best jokes in a couple of weeks, at least. So,
thank you.
Well done, sir.
I'm a little rusty. I apologize.
Blue, what about you?
So The Occultist, I got to be honest, I was rolling my eyes from start to finish on this trailer. Because, well, for one, the player character is making the same smirky face through the entire trailer. His facial expression doesn't change, which is a little bit weird. And then the voice actor is doing a Batman voice, and it's very dramatic.
Swear to me.
Now that you mention it, doesn't it end with, I'm an occultist?
Yeah.
I've seen things. Things no one should ever face. I am the occultist.
Chainstaff has a lot of Earthworm Jim vibes, and I think that's pretty cool.
Okay.
I will agree that I think there's something just a little bit off about the animation, but action platformer with aliens, Earthworm Jimmy looking, that's probably the one I'm going with, because People of Note, I know that people in the chat are super excited. And there were also people in the Discord who were excited for People of Note. It's getting good reviews. But anytime it's singing is my power,
yeah.
I cannot relate to that on any level whatsoever. So I hope that all these people enjoy it. But for me, I'm probably not buying anything. If I had to buy one, it would be Chainstaff, but probably not getting anything this week.
You got the touch. You got the power.
What about you, Ryan?
So taking a look at Chainstaff, it reminds me a lot of Bionic Commando from the NES. And I am terrible at that game. The whole grappling hook thing, I get so nervous, right? When you hit it and then you swing and you're trying to determine the parabola of your swing and when to let go and all that.
Parabola.
I'm good. So while it looks cool, it looks like it's like a run and gun kind of outside of the whole chain swinging thing. Like just the fact that it's a big part of it, I'm out. People of note, I'm hearing a lot of people say that this is good. Mm-hmm. I like turn-based. Mm-hmm. I like RPGs. Mm-hmm. I've been known to watch the occasional musical.
Okay.
But when you mix things together, they don't always work, is what I'll say. I like peanut butter and pickles, not together. So This is a peanut butter and pickles moment. The whole musical with the JRP, it's one of those things which is not for me. That's all. Which brings up the occultist. This looks cool. I agree that there's like that nice thriller kind of aspect to it. I will happily, Donnie, watch you play this.
I didn't say I wouldn't.
Right. I just, me and like horror games, right?
Yeah.
The one thing I will say is that it's ghosts. So that's a little less a scary thing for me. Like ghosts don't scare me that much. But
then what does?
Carnies, little hands.
Carny folks.
Small hands.
Smell like cabbage.
Yeah, I'll watch you play it, but I'm going to nope out on this one too. So it is a 0 for 3 for me.
You like to watch. All right.
I'm a voyeur for your pain, I guess.
So we did ask the patrons what they wanted this week. Chain staff and people of note both got 13% of the votes. The occultist got 20%, but the overwhelming winner was I'ma sit this one out. Okay, thanks, bye. At 53%.
Okay, love you, bye-bye.
Coffee says, I ain't afraid of no ghost.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
Is that one of the lyrics?
Yes, it is. And that's,
is it really?
Yeah. And you know what? Who sings that? My kids. My kids walk around saying "busted makes me feel good," and I look at them and I know what you're saying. Like what? What are you talking about?
I'm just singing the Ghostbusters song. Dude.
Did you not do that when you were a kid?
No, because I have no idea what that meant.
I see.
All right, before we move on, let's take a quick break to talk about our sponsor. This segment is proudly sponsored by the Retro Game Club podcast. It's a fantastic family-friendly retro gaming podcast. In each episode, Rob and a guest pick 2 games to play and discuss, as well as news, interviews, and other topics. Right now, they're playing through The Destroyer from Jail, $3.50. To any one of you who knows that one,
$3.50.
And Little Samson, about $3.50. Oh, Lord, it's so horrible. Damn Loch Ness Monster. Visit them at retrogameclub.net or follow the link in the show notes. And that's what you get from me. You start me on a tangent and I go down this weird ADHD trip. So I apologize.
You can't help it.
I don't know anything about The Destroyer from Jail, but Little Samson, an amazing game.
100%.
Expensive, but still amazing. It's not like one of those NES games that just completely missed that you're like, what the hell is this? Like Wayne's World or what have you. This is a late game at the very end of the NES timeline, and it just hits. It slaps.
There's so much good in that game. Not only is the platforming extremely tight, but the fact that you can switch characters.
So tight.
And each level plays differently depending on the character that you're playing as, because you obviously can do more. There's a mouse that can climb up walls. There's the golem character that can take a lot of hits, that kind of thing. Little Samson himself has a projectile that he shoots. So it's really, really, really done well. And it's a shame that it wasn't more widely available. And now that it's a couple $1,000s to own one. But at least, ROMs exist for that kind of reason. But
no,
you're right. It sucks because, like, if you look at, like, stadium events, for example, that's just world-class track meet with a different label on it, more or less, right? Mm-hmm. Where this was, like, a legit game that just never got the praise it deserved. If you've never played Little Samson, highly, highly recommend.
I did ask when they said this is the game they're playing. I was like, can the podcast afford that? So The Destroyer from Jail is a 1991 arcade shooter developed by Philco and published by 4J International. It features a belt-scrolling top-down perspective where an escaped convict shoots through various enemies to gain freedom. Known for its high difficulty, it features 5 stages and is playable via MAME.
Nice.
Okay.
Was it a light gun shooter game?
No, it was run and gun. This is what it looks like.
So you asked that just like Ron Burgundy.
Light gun shooter game?
Okay. All right.
Gonna be okay, bud.
Yeah.
All right.
And now, it's time for the very important poll.
Every month we post our VIP or very important poll, and if you'd like to participate, follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at GamersWeekPC. This month's question is, what is your biggest gaming sin? Coming in dead last with 0% of the vote is playing on easy for the first playthrough. 0%. So apparently either nobody's done that or nobody sees that as a gaming sin.
No.
I think that is evidence that it's the biggest gaming sin because nobody will even admit to it.
Coming in at third place is other with 3.5%. Next up is skipping cutscenes at 12.5%, and taking the cake with 50% of the vote was using a guide in your first playthrough. Let me rephrase. The other, though, came in at 30.5%, not 3.5%, which we found out as a result of some updated polling.
I still don't think that's right because the math is not mathing for 100%.
Other, whatever's left.
Yeah.
All right. So let's take a look at some of the comments from the poll. JB said, not finishing the games I start, leaving them in limbo, then perhaps returning to them all confused. Why Always Jamesy says, using a guide, it does pull you out of the experience, especially if you accidentally read a spoiler, but I absolutely have to know exactly which way to go at every single crossroad so I don't miss a single life bar extending item. Cats and Cucumbers, great name. Because they do the...
Yeah.
Not finishing games I put far too much time into. Do not finish. On a related note, playing on easy/story mode isn't a sin. It's a lifestyle choice.
Well said. Well said.
New Dad Gaming says, saying I don't really play Mario Kart to friends and coworkers and then completely crushing them.
I like your style. I like your style.
And last up, JB Pro says, using the controller with sticky hands, that is a party foul and a sin.
He probably had the McFizz beforehand.
Josh, who is JB Pro, that's somebody I've known for quite some time. I'm guilty of that. Who amongst us who has not touched a controller with Cheeto or Dorito dusted fingers?
Are you
let
kidding?
you cast the first stone?
Sure.
It said sticky hands.
Well, I mean, that's from sucking the dust and then playing.
Is that sticky?
Yes.
What else could you be doing with your hands that would make it sticky?
You're drinking a McFizz.
I'm just saying, maybe don't play at Josh's house.
Greasy, sticky. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I know.
I don't think you should be judging him considering the number of hentai games you have.
Right.
I know how to aim. Thank you very much.
It's the stickiest of the icky.
Go around bussing.
Busting makes me feel good. I think the one that I answered was using a guide, but not on the first playthrough. I typically don't do that. I only use a guide when I'm completely stuck and like I've exhausted what I think are every option. It's just not coming to me. There are sometimes I've played like blueprints, right? The puzzle games. I love puzzle games because they help me think. They keep my mind active. But then sometimes I'm just not getting it. I'm not getting where the author or the director wants me to go with this. It's just not jumping out at me, like playing Secret of Monkey Island. I've had that happen plenty of times where I just don't get the joke and I have to look up the guide. So it's not for everything. It's not like I'm sitting down with the guide in my lap that says, okay, go over here. Okay, yeah. Go over here. Okay, yeah, press this button. Because that's not fun. You're not doing anything with that.
And for me, the guide too is really based on just how much time do I have to play the game.
True.
Right. If I know that it's a game that would typically take 100 hours to complete, right, and I just don't have the time to do it, I will have the guide there. It's just a way to play the game without having to deal with the frustration of backtracking or missing something. Like, that's one of the worst, is that gimmick in games where it's like you have to find that one MacGuffin, right? And if you don't find it, like, you can't progress and everything just stays the same. So that's it's almost like it's trauma from that, running into that before.
Right.
So definitely guilty of using a guide. Even on a first playthrough, I will admit I've done that before. In fact, I've done all of these, but guide's probably the most common one that I would say I engage in. Skipping cutscenes depends on what's going on.
Yeah.
If I'm not enthralled in the story, I'm like, don't care. If it's not like a story-driven narrative kind of base game, if it's like a run and gun, don't care. Like Ninja Gaiden, like the what does and all that kind of stuff. It's like, I want to skip.
If it's the 40th time I fought this Elden Ring boss and there's a cutscene, I'm skipping it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I did like about DQ 2D HD Remake, is that they've got an option for you to hold down to speed up certain sections. So it'll like take you through the whole thing, which is great. I'm playing on easy for the first playthrough. If it's not a genre that I'm comfortable with, Metroidvania, a lot of times what I'll try to do is just enjoy it on easy.
Yeah, that's nothing. That's not a sin.
Yeah. I put these together as a sin, though, list, as like, what do the tryhards and the gatekeepers and all those people who have to judge others for their gaming activities and their lifestyle, what do they typically gripe about? And it's always, well, I hate people who play on easy because that's not really the game. You see,
yeah,
you got to watch all the cutscenes, you see, because then you're not going to know the story.
You're not a true gamer if you don't really know the lore of it.
Right, exactly, exactly. Right.
See, Puzzle says, I feel like if we're not going to kink shame, it's hard for me to gatekeep or shame.
I completely agree with that.
Right.
You know, all of these things have a stigma to them because we've associated one. But yeah,
the one that I went with was using a guide. The series that taught me that I must use guides for this series always was Final Fantasy, because you can so easily soft lock yourself if you don't get the progression just right, or you miss out on the legendary weapon because you sold the item that was in no way special, or you opened the wrong damn chest that there was no way for you to know you're not supposed to open. And so because, like you said, it's a 100-hour game, I don't have time to do it twice. So I'm Final Fantasies, at least the last couple, 15 and I didn't bother using a guide, and 16 I didn't even finish. But prior to that, yes, we bought the game and the guide on the same day because we just knew we were going to use it.
Yeah.
The Final Fantasy VII guide that came, the one that was like actually I might have it around here, but we like basically purchased the game and then got the guide with it. Complete game changer. It actually, I think, heightened the experience with the game, because there was all these like secret areas you can go into that you wouldn't have stumbled upon normally unless just randomly. So I think it actually enhanced my experience playing with a guide like that as a kid.
I still have a copy of Electronic Gaming Monthly from 1997 that has Final Fantasy VII on the cover and came with like a little strategy guide and all that.
Nice.
And that's what I used. I didn't buy the official strategy guide. I used that one.
Strategy guide.
Strategy. Just like, sure.
Actually, I think the one that I've got isn't an official one either. I think it says up at top unofficial or whatever. So it wasn't like released by Square Enix.
Yeah.
And that was like a whole cottage industry for the longest time, was game guides. Like you would go in, you'd buy one, and the guy at the counter would be like, do you want to buy a game guide with that? And it's funny to me that nowadays that's considered to be a stigma. It's to like go on to GameFAQs and pull up a game guide to go along with you, when back in the day that was just like common practice. Even like I remember games like Tomb Raider, would have like a whole full guide to it, right? It wasn't just strictly RPGs,
Well, with Tomb Raider, when you couldn't see the environment as
touche. Yeah. When the camera is a problem.
Yeah. So that little green smudge in the corner, head for that.
Yeah. Really? What the hell is that supposed to be?
But I don't generally use guides unless I am really, truly like, I cannot get this. Like, I am not ashamed to admit I looked up a few things in blueprints because a little bit spoilery for anybody who's still playing that game, but there was one safe that I just could not figure out what this code was to open the safe. And I knew it had something to do with the chessboard in the room. And once I looked up the answer, which was the chess piece is on square D8. So that's a date. And you're supposed to, from that, interpret that the code is 1208 because D clearly also stands for December 8.
Yeah, come on.
I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? No way. No way I would have ever gotten that. And my hat's off to whoever did manage to get that organically. But I was just like, yeah, I don't even feel bad about looking that up.
Europeans were like, I've tried 812 so many times.
It's not working. I love that game, but some of the answers to the puzzles, I'm just like, no.
And so I think for me too, some of the other things that they had mentioned, like, you know, not finishing games, I start, definitely guilty of that. Mm-hmm. When I was a kid, I couldn't tell you if we ever finished a game. Like, you would play for a few hours, you might come back to it. But like with the NES, because very few of them had save batteries, you just played, you see how far you could get, and then it was, time for dinner. And then it was over with, you know?
Yeah. But you did eventually learn to beat most of them in one sitting because you only had 3 games or something. So
Right. And especially it was true with the Super Nintendo, for me at least, because you could save, but also I didn't have that many games for it. So you had to love the ones you had, and you had to become an expert at it.
Yep, 100%.
Like anticipation.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up the show. Thank you, everyone, for listening to episode 207 of Gamers Week Podcast. And a big thank you to the Retro Game Club Podcast, Love Retro BTW, Pixel Palm Production Company, and Absolutely the Best Podcast, a work in progress, for sponsoring this episode. Don't forget to check out their links in the show notes. If you want to connect with Gamers Week, follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at Gamers Week PC. Watch us right here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Gamers Week Podcast, where we will record live every Wednesday at 8:30 Central Time. Email us at gamersweekpodcast@gmail.com. Visit our Moich store at gamers-week-podcast.creator-spring.com. Or if you want to do it the easy way, follow the link in the show notes. And last but not least, join us on Patreon at patreon.com/gamersweek. Finally, since you made it all the way to the end of this episode, please leave us a rating and a review to let us know how we did. We really do value your feedback. And while you're there, consider subscribing on iTunes, Spotify, or your podcast platform of choice. I wonder if there's somebody who listens sometimes and was not around for the Moich joke. So every time we say that, they're like, what the fuck?
Are they having a moment? What's going on? Moich.
Games with Coffee says good night.
Good night. This is actually one of our shortest recordings. Like Ryan and I haven't rambled on like idiots for half the episode. So
speak for yourself. I definitely rambled on.
I'm looking forward to it.
This is going to be quite easy for you.
Last week it was just like, okay, here's this 10-minute segment, cut that. Here's this 5-minute segment, cut that.
Yeah, Puzzle Better's right. It's a speed run.
Simon S. Tier says, wait, you can't leave. How do we cleanse ourselves of these sins? Confession, communion, baptism, prayer? Oh, Agent Nil, thank you so much for the subscription and for a year. 12 months.
12 months. Look at that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Much appreciated, Agent Nil.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for us this evening. Thank you very much for spending yet another Wednesday evening with us. We greatly appreciate that. We will be back on Monday for another playthrough. And Blue, do we let Ryan try to redeem himself?
Well, what I was going to say on Monday before he got mean was that he only played for 3 days. He hasn't unlocked shit and he has no money. So I think we should give him a chance to show us what he really has planned for that store.
Okay. Ryan, have you touched the game since we played it before? No,
sir.
Okay, good. Then join us back here next Monday night where we will do another playthrough of Retro Rewind, the video store simulator, where Ryan will show us his managerial skills, his feng shui skills, and all that, and try to impress the socks off of us.
Bullshit. This is for me. This ain't for you.
So if he wants to take his time organizing the shelves by which pictures line up together,
Correct.
that's his choice.
All right. Talk to you guys later and have a good evening.
Adios.
Good night.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. All ramen can be cup noodles if it's in a cup.
True.
That's some deep shit right there.
I know.
Whoa.
That's your daily dose of philosophy. You're welcome.
Welcome to Gamers Week Uncut.
Welcome to Gamers Week Uncut.
Welcome to Gamers Week Uncut, Patrons with Benefits. This is the unscripted, patron-only bonus cast with less editing and more dirty jokes. We don't know where the conversation will go, but we're sure it will be weird.
This fish just went right on my nipple. And I'm just like,
I Google Street Fighter 6. The first search result that comes up is people think they can see Ryu's in the Street Fighter 6 reveal.
Listen up here, kids. You're not going to want to get one of those VDSTDs things, right? Make you fall off. When you go, grab a pro. You'll be doing it for America.
that was perfect.
If you want to hear weekly episodes of our patron-only bonus cast, join us at patreon.com/gamersweek.